Hello, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Fabian, co-founder and COO at Keyless. Keyless is a passwordless authentication company and world leader in privacy-preserving biometric authentication, the only company that doesn't store biometric data anywhere. We work with banks, fintechs, governments, and enterprises to combat account takeover fraud, to increase operational efficiencies, improve the user experience, and ensure regulatory compliance to data protection and open banking requirements. We're an independent private company headquartered in Europe with 3 offices globally, including a team in the US. At Keyless, we pioneer a novel, patented approach to biometrics that we call zero-knowledge biometric authentication, a passwordless multi-factor authentication capability that allows us to authenticate both the genuine identity of the user, which includes a passive liveness check, in addition to verifying their device, any device with a 720 pixel camera or more, with one simple look, and on average around 300 milliseconds. This means that Keyless bridges the gap from identity verification to ongoing authentication, allowing organizations to re-authenticate their users across the entire lifecycle. In business terms, this means that we're able to lower account takeover fraud by 70%, reduce call center volumes via self-service account recovery by 90%, and reduce the dependencies on SMS OTPs by 95%. And now, I'm happy to showcase Keyless to you live. I hope you like it. Thank you. Cool. So here we are. I'm going to show you 2 demos today, a financial services applications, a banking demo, and a wallet application. We're going to showcase the enrollment and login use cases. So what you'll see here on the screen is my phone where I just downloaded a banking application. I'm going to onboard for the very first time. I'm going to go through an identity verification process, which is something that we complement to then making this initial template reusable for ongoing authentication, completely agnostic to which vendor is being used, whether that's a purple, yellow, blue, or green vendor that you may be using, to then perform a step-up authentication to authorize a payment against the strong customer authentication requirements under the Bank and Payment Service Directive 2 in Europe, and offering a self-service account recovery. So what I'm going to do here now is onboarding for the first time. I'm going to use an email address that I just typed in, fabian@idv.com. I'm going to confirm this, and this starts the enrollment process. So what we do next is that we capture my face. In the background, we're generating a device key pair to bind this device to this account that is being created. We performed a passive liveness check. We're going to transform this facial information into what we call zero-knowledge biometric data, so a one-way cryptographic transformation. And this information is then stored server-side, which could be hosted on public cloud, private cloud, or on-premise. Very important, the information that is being stored is completely unlinkable to myself as the actual human being. So it's very different from server-side encryption or biometric hashing. It's also different to decentralized storage of biometric data. It's truly privacy preserving and doesn't constitute biometric information from a data regulation perspective. So this flow includes an iDV capture. So I'm going to capture an old document of mine that the iDV vendor, our partner, would carry out. So we're matching against my government issued ID. We're creating this identity. For demo purposes, we can set up a PIN code that we're going to leverage in the recovery journey later on. And we've onboarded to this account. So the account creation process takes around 3 to 5 seconds, or could be done transparently in the background without any user interaction required. So we can leverage existing templates that our partner has on file that the iDV vendor or themselves have captured in the past. So we're able to perform a backend-to-backend batch enrollment of existing users to activate this device key pair and that zero-knowledge biometric profile that is then activated with the first authentication the user makes. So completely transparent, which ensures rapid and quick adoption. So what I'm able to do now is transfer money, look at my personal profile. I could, for example, change my address information. Say we're changing this to a different address, and we're going to approve this address change with a look into the camera. whereby we verify the user's device in addition and separate to the passive liveness and facial recognition, and that transaction has now been authorized. In addition, we can perform transfers. So in Europe, any online payment above 30 euros is mandated to be authenticated with multiple factors, so possession, inheritance, or knowledge, and dynamic linking, which binds that transaction to the amount and the recipient. So we're going to perform a payment of $1,000. We're going to confirm this transaction, click on confirm, and we're going to verify the device by performing a zero-knowledge proof against that device key. In addition and separate, we're performing passive liveness and facial recognition, and that payment is authorized. Now imagine the user loses this device, forgets the device, doesn't have access to the device, whatever may happen. So this device doesn't exist anymore, takes a new device that the user still has at home. So I have a different device here, actually an iPhone, not an Android device, where I download the same app, and I'm going, rather than setting a new account, going through another iDV flow, calling the support center, or physically show up in the branch, I'm able to recover my account self-service by providing my unique identifier. In this case, we've used the email address. This could be the contract number or the account number. So this was Fabian at peakidv.com. And I'm able to recover my account by performing the PIN to harden that flow. Again, this was optional. This could be an email OTP. And I'm able to verify my face and back up those device keys on this new device that I'm able to use going forward. So what I can do now is carry out payments without having to enroll myself. So if I'm going to send a payment to the same gentleman, I'm able to authorize this payment with a simple look in the camera without having to re-enroll myself. And I know that it was this device that I've used. We're able to show all this information in a dashboard that the admin can look at. So we're capturing the device, the user, and we know that that transaction has been carried out by a particular user at a given point in time. So the second demo I wanted to show is a wallet application. So in Europe, with the European wallets, one big challenge here is how do we tie a wallet to the actual user and a genuine identity rather than just a device. So we're working with one of the European governments on a project, in this example, a wallet that you see here where the user is able to register. So we're showing the enrollment, which is done in a very same or similar fashion. The user looks into the camera of the device. We're generating the device key pair to bind this device to that wallet, independent of performing the passive liveness facial and transforming this facial information into zero-knowledge biometric data, which we store server-side. Now the user can access the wallet and log into that wallet application with their face. Again, in the background, we're assuring that possession element, we're capturing the selfie, perform the passive liveness, match this information. On the device, we reconstruct a private key, and the user is now into the wallet. So we can perform selective disclosure of their identity attributes and essentially log into the wallet in a frictionless and seamless way. So what Keyless does is bridging the gap from the initial identity verification through to ongoing authentication in a simple, secure, and above all, privacy-preserving manner, where our partners can be assured that there's no biometric data that is stored, truly privacy-preserving, and done in a way that looks and feels the same across any end-user device the user wants to use. The only requirement, a basic 720-pixel camera. With that, I very much look forward to continuing the conversation with you. I wish you a great day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Fabian. Everyone, that was Fabian Eberle with Keyless. With Keyless, there's nothing to remember, nothing to steal. You are the key. You can get a personalized demo or try it yourself. Scan this QR code or go to keyless.io.